All right, let's talk about something really cool today. We're going to dive into a pair of headphones that make a pretty bold claim that they can help you rediscover the music you love. We're talking about the HIFIMAN Ananda Nano, and we're going to break down the tech that makes that promise a reality. So let me just ask you this. Have you ever put on a song you absolutely love, one you know like the back of your hand, and just had this nagging feeling that something's missing? Like you're not quite getting the whole picture? You know that feeling, right? It's a classic problem for any real music fan. Maybe the different instruments sound kind of mushed together, or the whole thing just feels a bit trapped inside your head. You just know there's more there, but your gear can't quite dig it out. But imagine for a second, what if you could just smash through that ceiling? What if you could hear every single detail, every breath the singer takes, every tiny nuance, exactly the way it sounded in the recording booth? Well, that's the whole idea behind the headphones we're looking at today. So how on earth do they pull this off? Let's get right into the engineering. It all starts with the search for true, authentic sound. Okay, so the absolute heart of the Ananda Nano's magic is its nanometer diaphragm. And trust me, this isn't just a tiny tweak. It's the key to its incredible speed and detail. So what is that exactly? Well, simply put, the diaphragm is the part that moves back and forth to actually make the sound waves. By making this thing unimaginably thin, we're talking nanometer scale, HiFiMan has created something that can move faster and more precisely than ever before. It's a huge leap forward. Okay, that's the tech, but what does it sound like? What do you actually get to hear? Well, it means a lightning-fast response that catches everything. The punch of a drum hit, the gentle shimmering fade of a cymbal, the tiniest little textures in a singer's voice. Honestly, the best way to describe it is like wiping a thick layer of dust off your favorite music. But you know, a super fast diaphragm is only half the story. It needs the right kind of engine to drive it, right? And that brings us to the next critical piece, the power of planar magnetics. And this chart makes the difference so clear. On the left, with planar magnetics, the entire surface of that diaphragm is moved evenly all at once. Now compare that to the conventional drivers on the right, which basically just push from one little spot in the middle. That even, uniform drive is the absolute key to cutting out distortion and getting super accurate sound. So what's the bottom line here? It means you get all that deep, powerful bass that makes music feel alive, but it never ever gets muddy or sloppy. It's punchy and exciting, but also incredibly tight, articulate, and controlled. All right, so we've got speed from the diaphragm and accuracy from the drivers. Now for the third pillar of this design, which is all about creating an environment, a soundstage that literally takes the music from inside your head and puts it out in the room with you. They do this with something called an open back design, which is a really clever, simple idea. Instead of trapping all the sound inside a closed cup, the back is open, letting sound and air move freely. This stops pressure from building up, which is what can make music sound kind of congested and unnatural in other headphones. And the result of that? Wow. It completely changes the experience. It's not just about hearing the notes anymore, it's about the space between them. You get this huge, airy feeling with instruments placed precisely all around you. It's the difference between listening to a recording and feeling like you are right there in the room when it was made. So let's put all three of these pieces together now, because when they work in harmony, they create a total experience that is all about, you guessed it, rediscovering your music. It really boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful three-part formula. First, you've got the insane speed of that diaphragm, capturing every little detail. Second, you have the accuracy of the planar drivers, delivering all that detail perfectly clean. And third, you get this sense of space from the open back design, which creates this massive natural stage for the music to live on. When you combine those three things, speed, accuracy, and space, you don't just get a pair of headphones. You get an invitation, a real invitation to go back through your entire music collection and hear things you have genuinely never heard before, even on songs you could sing in your sleep. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. What little background harmony, what quiet bass line, what hidden details are waiting there to be discovered in your favorite songs? I guess the only way to find out is to listen a little closer.